So here's what's happening with me in my life right now, internally, and the tension that I'm struggling with. And I wanted to share it here with you to see if you can relate to that. There are two things that are happening right now. We live in the fastest times ever as far as technology, AI, and I am intimately involved in these developments because that's my work. But on the other hand, I want and need plenty of time for myself so that I can sit in silence, so that I can sit with my own thoughts. Knowing this, knowing that both of them are important, I still find myself choosing the first one, the prior, the involvement in the fast world instead of the second one. So I'm catching myself wanting to reconcile this, and here are the thoughts that are coming to me. The first thing that I'm noticing is that being involved in the fastness of the world we live in has a deadline. Things are literally happening in the next 2-3 years. As somebody that I respect says, don't sleepwalk through the singularity. So that gives me a lot of urgency. Sitting with myself, being with my own thoughts, and having time to reconcile my own inner world, that doesn't have a deadline. So the voice in my own head and the way I rationalize this is I can't afford to waste time right now. This is really important. So I pour my energy into the fast pace of the world. But I'm also noticing that the very language that I use in my internal monologue, in my internal chatter, I cannot afford to waste that. That's already rooted in scarcity. I cannot afford waste time. Time is a scarce and non-refundable resource. So this is something that stands out for me. But this is still surface stuff. As I sit with this kind of tension, what I'm discovering is that not being involved in the outside world and running as fast as I can right now so I don't miss anything, and having or making time to sit with my own thoughts, to introspect, to reflect, to just be with myself, that inadvertently puts me in touch with my inner world. And what's hiding in that inner world is not always palatable. For example, I inadvertently will be put in touch with my own shadow material, with these sides of me that I don't like, consciously and unconsciously. For example, the sides of me that know that there is an angry person inside of me, the side of me that knows that there is somebody who judges others. And the ego side does not like these parts of me, and it wants to keep them away. So eventually I get put in touch with that. And that's not even all of it. What I also get put in touch with is the asking of these huge, enormous questions that eventually some of us get to ask, like the existential questions of why am I here? What's going on? Why is this game set up the way it's set up? Why was I born when I'm gonna die? What's on the other side? Is there another side? And these are heavy questions to sit with. And most people avoid these questions. So in a sense, I'm wondering, is there a part of me that's actually glad that these times are happening right now in the external world so that I can get engaged with them and have a very good and valid excuse for not engaging with the inner world and the questions that are pressing inside there? And the reason why I am thinking what I just said is I did a very simple exercise. I imagine if somebody handed me 90 more minutes tomorrow, so instead of 24 hours, my day had 25 and a half hours, so it's 90 extra minutes. What would I do with these 90 extra minutes? Would I use them to just sit with myself, or would I use them to just do more of what I like doing right now? And the answer is I would do more of my engagement with the external world that demands my attention right now. So that already tells me enough. And here's where it got really interesting for me. I know that there are these two competing parts right now: the demand of my attention with the external fast-paced world and the need for me to also have time for myself and sit with myself. I know these two are in tension, but what I discovered is that I don't want to resolve this tension right now. I'm fine sitting with this tension. I'm just letting it be. So look, I'll be very honest with you. Most people come to YouTube to ask a question and find an immediate solution to their question. And that's what most videos serve on YouTube. This is not one of them. I'm not going to give you the 3 steps to solving this or the 5 tactics. If anything, I just have questions. But this is what happens in the second half of life. We get to a place where there are more questions than answers. And to me, that feels important. And the skill to develop to not need to answer all these questions is, I think, a big part of why we're here. So I'm not going to pretend that I have answers. I don't. And so I'm not going to even close this for you. I'm going to leave it open. So I hope that you are fine staying with something open. And I think that this is great because my answer will be only my own answer. And in this stage of life where sitting with yourself takes you to a very deep place, your answers will be only yours. So I think it's even better that I don't close this loop for you and I leave it up to you to close if you want.